Hello and welcome to BNTV episode 7. This week we're on the streets of London and we're celebrating the start of the Olympics and we're focusing on the British boxing team. Now last time, 2008, James DeGale gold, Tony Jeffries bronze, David Price bronze. It was a good medal haul, but it looks like we could do better this time. Do you think that's a fair prediction to make?
I'd expect this team to do better because they've done so well in the major tournaments ahead of this Olympics. They're kind of better placed in this cycle. They really have some, James DeGale was a bit of a surprise gold medalist, whereas this time around we not only have home advantage, but we've got some boxers who are genuinely expected to do well.
Yeah, I mean we'll talk about home advantage shortly, but if we look at the British men's team to start off with, very strong team. Starting at the top, Anthony Joshua in the super heavyweight division. Now he's improved a ridiculous amount in the last year, 18 months, 2 years. I mean, when you first saw him box, did you think that he would be at this level? Did you think there'd be a medal hope at London 2012?
Not at all. Because he was big, because he was in shape and he could really punch hard. I expected him obviously to get a lot of attention, but he was raw. He'd only had a few bouts. It was really remarkable. Some of the names he's beaten, but you've got to remember he still is, to an extent, raw. He still is less experienced than his Olympics opposition is going to be. He's only had 39 bouts, but with what he's done, he's also proved that he can mix it with the best.
Yeah, I mean, let's go down to middleweight. Anthony Ogogo. Now, incredible route to the final, injuries. Then in the when he looked like he wasn't going to make it. It was six points down, was it, before he went into the final round in the qualifiers? Yeah. I mean, is it almost written in the stars that he's going to come out of this with a medal?
It feels like it, but you've got to remember that he hasn't won a major medal since the Commonwealth Games. And obviously, he's kind of the whole injury saga started ahead of the 2011 Europeans. Anthony, on his day, he has beaten the Russian, the Indian in India, so he's capable of beating anyone. We need to see him be consistent throughout a tournament. So he's by no means, you can't expect him to get on the podium, but what he's been through to get here, why not?
Yeah, big time. and Fred Evans at welterweight, medal hope?
Definitely.
Yeah.
He didn't get a medal at the Worlds. In fact, he got stopped in the quarter-final. But he puts that down. You can almost put that down to inexperience. He said he was happy, he was relaxed because he had achieved his qualification goal. And you've got to remember, he is brilliant. He won the Europeans in 2011. He's a southpaw, which always helps. He's real, in his early 20s now, but he's a real kind of prodigy. So serious contender.
Let's drop down a division to light welterweight. Thomas Stalker. Can he be our captain? Fantastic.
The thing with Stalker is, as everyone says about him, he finds a way to win. He's not the most beautiful boxer on the team, but he's got heart, he's got determination, and he gets results. And that's the kind of leadership he brings. He leads by example.
At lightweight, we've got Scotland's Josh Taylor. Now, have you been impressed with his form coming into the games?
Yes, though you can't put him down as a medal prospect because he's come up not by the back door but the hard way. The second qualifier, but he has looked good. He got a Commonwealth silver medal at lightweight, went up to light welter, got some good wins at light welter, and since he's come back down again, he has looked strong. So he's going to give everyone a hard time, but he's in the division of Vasyl Lomachenko, who is the man. So it's going to be hard for him to get to the podium.
Okay, let's get down to featherweight and Luke Campbell. Now, has he got the most expectation on his shoulders, do you think? A lot of people are picking him for big things in this games.
Yeah, I'd probably say the boxer with the most expectation is Andrew Selby with everything that he's achieved. Certainly the kind of most expectation from me would be on Luke Campbell because he's got that a great counter-punching style, really good for a tournament. You know, he seems very cool-headed, he's very experienced, proven winner. And, you know, his rival is obviously the Cuban, who's beaten him a couple of times. But I think Campbell expects to have the Cubans measured by now, so I'd certainly bet your house on him.
Okay, gun to your head though. Gun to your head, so not houses but lives. Gun to your head, is he going to get the gold?
Yeah.
Like it, like it. Okay, Andrew Selby, you just mentioned him at flyweight. Now he's here at the expense of Cal Yafai, and he's really tough route to the final. It's a shame that they both couldn't be there, but so how far can Selby go?
He can go all the way after what he's been. I mean, he won the Europeans. He got to the final of the World Championships, only lost to a point to an outstanding Russian, and was a bit unlucky there. I mean, he did land a punch just before the final bell, and then because Cal Yafai had met the qualification requirements, he had to have a box off with him. So he's been under huge pressure, and he's come through it. And one of the interesting things that I kind of went around some of the team members asking them, like, if their life depended on the outcome of the bout and they can box in it, who would they pick? A lot said Stalker for the reason we mentioned, a couple said Luke, but the majority said Andrew Selby. And even though he doesn't seem that confident a person, everyone else on the team has so much faith in him.
Well, he's quite an interesting character, isn't he, Andrew?
Yeah, well, he boxes with tremendous flair. He's got in a really competitive weight class, the hardest weight division in the Olympics, and he can outbox all of them. But then outside of the ropes, he's kind of, you know, a lot more shy, a lot more retiring. Doesn't seem to believe in himself, but then everyone else on the team certainly believes in him.
And out of those 7 guys we've just mentioned, if there was one that you were going to put a bet on to get a gold medal, who would it be?
Well, I mean, depending on the odds, but probably Luke Campbell.
Right. Okay.
And you know, Selby's obviously up there, but just because there's quality that he's got to face. You know, he's got an excellent Russian, great American, lots of the Thai, the Uzbek are all good. Not that Luke doesn't have difficult opponents, but for that reason, I probably.
That means for the first time in the games, we've got women's boxing. British team quite strong. Savannah Marshall's our only world champion going into the games. How strong is the women's team?
I mean, they're all medal contenders. I mean, they all medalled at the Worlds, and also none of the British team have got a free place at the Olympics. There were host nation places available. They all qualified the hard way, and the girls had it especially hard. To be sure of being in London 2012, they had to finish in the top 3 European women at the Worlds. So in Savannah's case, she actually had to get to the final to qualify, and then she went on and won the thing. So she's a serious gold medal contender.